Hey, it's Carrie. I was in I wanted to do a book tag kind of mood, and I decided to do the Avengers book tag, which is why I'm wearing a Captain America T-shirt. This is where you name all the Avengers characters and Loki, and there's statements that are associated with them. It was created by Kristen Hackett, and her video is down there in the description, as well as all the Avengers. So let's get started. So before I begin, I wanted to let you know that I'm gonna include characters on the sides, um, just for a visual reference and just to be a little bit more creative about it. So now we can begin. The first one is Tony Stark and or Iron Man, and then it's name a book that made you laugh out loud. And I had to reach down. And I said Ellen DeGeneres' Seriously I'm Kidding, which I've talked about this lately. And this, I've said it before, that this book is hilarious. It's just filled with short stories and anecdotes and lists and rants, and it's so funny. Every single page basically had me laugh, and even the back of the book is really funny. I won't read it, but even the back of the book, when you read it, it's so funny. And yeah, this is a good book to read whenever you need a laugh, just because I love Ellen, and you really need to read this book if you want to laugh. It's really hilarious. The next one is Captain America, which is what I'm wearing, or Steve Rogers, and that's name a book with a positive message. And before I say it, I don't want to say that it's positive. It might be negative, but depending on how you interpret it, it could prevent something negative. It's All the Bright Places by Jennifer Niven. The author, at the end of the book, the author gives a note about suicide and who to talk to if you feel like you want to commit suicide. And it's I want to say it's positive because the book is really sad, but it prevents something negative like suicide from happening, because I'm gonna get to it, but she talks about how it's okay to talk to people and counselors, and she on one page she even gives a list of websites and clinics that you can contact, and some phone numbers, and she lists all that stuff in here for places you want to talk to if you have feelings like that. So I guess you can say it might be positive, but it's not negative. It kind of prevents something negative from happening, which is how I interpret it. I hope that's okay. The next one is name a book with a kick-butt female protagonist. Oh, I'm sorry, it's The Black Widow and Natasha Romanov. It's the last song, or it's Ronnie from the last song, and she does not let... She stands up for herself, because she does not let anyone take her down, and she's very defensive, and she knows what she wants, and she pushes to get it. And when Will was attracted to her, like early on in the book, she was kind of pushing him away. She didn't want him just yet until he won her over. And I'd say strong, because she also has an emotional factor for animals, which I love in people. And I think she does she does a very, very good job of standing up for herself and defending herself and trying to get what she wants. Number 4 is Clint Barton, and that's Hawkeye, and that's name an underrated book you wish more people would pay attention to. And I'm saying Sleeping Freshmen Never Lie by David Lubar, because we have all these young adult books like Fangirl, or the Divergent series, or the Hunger Games series. I mean, there's a lot of there's a lot of young adult books that are becoming big, And I'd say this feels like not a lot of people are paying attention to it because, especially teenagers, because I mean, I read this like when I was a grown up, but um, I think teenagers will benefit from it because it'll say what, it'll talk about like the struggles that people go to when they start high school. So especially freshmen can benefit from it. And I think if more teenagers read it, it'll get spread around throughout high schools and or high school students at least, and it'll be more people will relate to it because it's a very relatable book for a lot of high school students, and I'm surprised that it didn't get as much acknowledgement as The Hunger Games, because that's everywhere, and this is not. Not a lot of people pay attention to this. Number 5 is Bruce Banner, and that's the Hulk, and that's name a book that made you incredibly angry, and I'm not gonna say it was incredible, but it was Winger by Andrew Smith. I don't want to say I was angry by it, but I was getting annoyed. Almost every chapter, Ryan Dean was putting himself down and always calling himself a loser, and I'm like, oh my god, kid, just stand up for yourself. He was a pushover, and he was annoying me. He was an annoying pushover, and I just couldn't stand him anymore because he was. I don't want to say it made me angry, but I was getting frustrated. I was like, "Oh my god, how long is this book gonna last?" Because I honestly did not finish the book. I had less than 100 pages left, but I did not want to finish the book because I was just getting annoyed. On every chapter, he was doing something and calling himself names, and oh my god, kid, just I just. I don't know what I would have told him, but I just was getting annoyed. I couldn't stand him, and I just couldn't finish it. I'll hold on to it, but I don't know when I'll get back to it, or if I do, if I'd finish it or not. I really don't know, but I was just getting annoyed. Number 6 is Thor, and that's a character's strengths that you admire. And I chose Richard Haddon from I'm Having So Much Fun Here Without You. He had a very strong heart. When he was okay, he kind of committed a little infidelity, but um, but once his wife found out, he did everything he could to win her back. He wouldn't give up for her, and he was going to great lengths just to get her, and she wasn't taking it, but he did not give up. And I know it's not physical strength just because it's Thor. I don't know if it has to be physical, but I thought it's an emotional strength. And I thought he was doing a very, very good job. Opposite from Ryan Dean, if you think about it, from Winger, who was not defending himself. But Richard was, and I really admired that in him because he did not give up, and he really did have a strong heart for his wife and would do anything he could to get her back. The last one is considered a bonus because he's not one of the main 6 Avengers, but it's Loki. And that's the name of a book with a twist or surprise that you didn't see coming. And I'm saying 1004 because, okay, you're reading the book and alright, it's fine. It reads like a novel, and it's a novel. But then when you get to the last chapter, this might be kind of a spoiler alert. So I don't know how essential it is. But you find out that you're reading a book. I mean you've been reading the book, but the narrator tells you that you've been reading a book. Okay, I spent the last few minutes looking for the part of the book that this you can see my dog joined in, but looking for a part of the book where the author breaks the fourth wall. And it said that, say that it was standing there that I decided to replace the book I proposed with the book you're reading right now, a work that, like a poem, is neither fiction nor nonfiction, but a flickering between them. I resolved to dilate my story, not into a novel about literary fraudulence, about fabricating the past, but into an actual present alive with the multiple futures. And it it totally shocked me because I I was like looking at the rest of the pages in the book to see what else there was, and try to read the author bio just to see if I missed anything, and to see what the premise said, because sometimes I read the premises a few times upon reading books, and I never had seen anything like that before, where an author breaks the fourth wall. It was it was actually the protagonist. It was told in first person narration, so the narrator broke the fourth wall, and that I did not see coming. And I told a friend about it. He was just as surprised as I was, because he's the one that recommended the book to me, and um, it was it was very interesting. I just didn't see it coming. You really have to read the book, because the narrator is an author, and you really have to read this book. It's 1004 by Ben Lerner, just to see how that part had tricked with your mind a little bit. So that was the Avengers book tag, and I decided to do it because I love the Avengers, and I love the Avengers movies and that fandom, and I love Captain America, and I can't wait for other future Avengers movies or Marvel movies, or the new Captain America movie. I really want to see that. But anyway, I love all that kind of stuff. So the original video is down there in the description. It's by Kristen Hackett, and all the superheroes, all the Avengers characters are down there too. So I hope you subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon.